been over 2 years since the release of the Third World. I heard you've been all over the world.
When I speak about Harlem, I speak to the world. The little Afghan boy and the Bosnian girl, the African of Sudan, the people of Kurdistan, the third world American, indigenous man, Palestinians, Washington Heights Dominicans, displaced New Orleans citizens, beachfront Brazilian favelas that you living in. The hood is prime real estate, they want back in again.
I went out to Afghanistan in order to solidify and complete the project, the Green Light Project, of building a school and an orphanage there with the money I raised through a series of shows and as a percentage of the Third World album. I felt like since a lot of people have been scamming the Afghan people and feel like you just throw money at a problem and it goes away, when I went over there, I felt like it was a more direct contact and it was more of an understanding of what's going on the ground. You know, when you see places where people have blown themselves up, when you travel to areas where there's still Taliban, Al-Qaeda, you really get a feeling for how the people are struggling. You get a feeling for how they don't appreciate the Taliban, but at the same time, they don't appreciate people that come into their sector and dictate how they should live their life. That's just not in any way, shape, or form what they would want to do. If someone came to America and told us how we should be living and decided to change our laws and reframe every single thing about how we conduct ourselves as a people, there'd be revolution in the streets. There'd be white people blowing themselves up in Kentucky or some shit.
Oh, yeah. National security's a code word for cover up. Hold that down. I look at character, never let the color get to you. I got white revolutionaries like Muslims in Chechnya, percussion dumping like the Russian mafia over you. But even they know what it's like when you fighting for svoboda. So whether Slavic or Islamic, vodka, gin tonic, drunken fantasies are cool, son. But here's the grim logic: you niggas wanna play industry and start to be rich until they fuck you for millions, like Paul McCartney's bitch.
Besides that, I also traveled down to Colombia, Peru, where I began a small part of the development on the land that I purchased. You know, a lot of rappers bought, you know, cars and jewelry with their land. I bought a huge farm about half the size of Central Park, so do whatever I want. I grow whatever I want on it. And if I had invested in these ridiculous little plans that the bank had suggested for me, I'd probably have 60% of the money I have now, instead of having tripled the income and been able to provide sustenance for people while not selling out to big agribusiness that takes whatever doesn't pass inspection, ships it out to Europe and America, and sells the rotten shit back to our people. That's not fair. So I'm not trying to crusade like Cesar Chavez or something. I don't think I'm a hero. I'm just trying to present another option for people on how they can make a living and not also have to be a leech or a lampist in society. You know what I mean? You don't have to be one or the other. You don't have to be a righteous saint that never does anything wrong, or, you know, a terrible human being.
And then when they gave us what they called liberty, everything we had was still owned by them. Our governments told us that socialism was the real enemy and that we would have freedom, but the foreign powers and corporations were the ones with the real freedom. The freedom to take all the wealth generated by our work and our land and give us only a small percentage of the scraps from the table. Their lust for power and their greed drove them to betray not only us, but themselves and the word of their own God.
I also heard that recently you went to Haiti.
Yes, I went to Haiti with Arms Around Haiti and Hip Hop for Haiti. We were helping to bring emergency relief supplies to people. It was a very, very trying experience because you see people that are living in these huge tent cities and people think, oh, okay, now they have a tent, they're okay. But there's like 3 or 4 families that I've seen living in a tent. And less than 5% of the $12 billion that had been allocated by people to quote unquote help Haiti has actually reached the people of Haiti. The rest is sitting there gathering interest to parties unknown. You know, I'm not sitting here saying that every aid organization is a sham, but when you have some of them that have a 30 or 40% overhead of the money that you donate to them, it really makes you think about who the fuck you're paying, you know? You're keeping somebody's lights on in Miami, you're helping somebody send their kid to college in Arizona, but meanwhile, someone's dying of diarrhea, you know? And that's real shit. I'm not trying to dampen the party mood of everyone who's watching this, because, you know, you're living in a fucking comfortable crib and you can flush the toilet and you know when your next meal is coming, but just keep in mind and be thankful at least for what you have, and that might help you humble yourself a little bit in life.
Would you say that the people are getting any of the resources?
There are people out there that are helping and working. I was a guest at Wyclef's compound. I saw some of the LA people on the ground trying to help out. I saw some UN organizations that are doing the right things. I even saw some Christian organizations that are helping. And then I saw some that kind of felt like they were peddling Jesus in a certain way, which is sad because, you know, you shouldn't hold it like a carrot and a stick, like here's the Bible and the aid. No, it should just be like, here, and I don't expect nothing back from you. I thought that was the real message of Christianity. Maybe I got that fucking confused. I don't know. Somebody correct me out there.